developed than this. And you see, we're coming down from 2-0. And she speak volume to South Africa. And yeah, we made mistakes. We came back.
And what did you say at halftime and even towards the end?
I feel relaxed. Do not worry. Power the gears like that. You're going to pressure. You should accept the pressure and then move forward. And move over. And that's what we play.
Do you feel perhaps they underestimated you as well?
I think they did, but they will not do it again. I told them.
Definitely, that he was not sold. But why? Who because there is a rumor that George Weah told the team because he didn't want Chester. Rumor that indiscipline and indiscipline started from that Chester. When we try to instill discipline in the team, where Oliver McCall, Prince D, when we want to trap them, up to 3 o'clock in the morning, people were calling. You put it on the field, that meantime, and then they came when they say you must come. That meantime, Charlie said you must play. You remember? We come 5. I go over testing our being. Our home. Our best, I let them come. Jerry, when I come, I say, go call him, Papi. Call me, talk to me, Jerry.
You don't shut up. 1 hour. We are here waiting. We are here to tell the boys. For LFA, because I want to do anything to allow us eat. We are frustrated. LFA is nothing. They are zero. One hour. We are here waiting. We are here to tell the boys. For LFA, because I want to do anything to allow us eat. We are frustrated. LFA is nothing. They are zero. One hour. We are here waiting. We are here to tell the boys. One hour. We are here waiting. We are here to tell the boys. For LFA, because I want to do anything to allow us eat. We are frustrated. LFA is nothing. They are zero.
A pleasant good afternoon and welcome to the Passion of Life, the Freedom Weekend Sports, right on Freedom 87.9. Today is the 31st day of the month of May and we're in 2025. What a pleasant way to welcome you to Liberia Fascinating Sports Program with me, Thomas KOJO ROULHAC. This sports show comes away every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. where we talk about what is happening in the world of sports in Liberia. Be my guests, like Danishus Mate and Wilmot Smith, former Vice President for Operation the Liberia Football Association, will be my guests, and the past immediate media manager of the Football Association, Mr. Danishus Mate. 2 of them are among the long list of people who the Student Unification Party recommending to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission to aid the LACC, the ongoing investigation at the Liberia Football Association headed by its president, Mustafa Raji. My name is Thomas ROULHAC. Don't go away. I'm right here to serve you the latest in the world of sports. Liberia women's national team will be in action this evening against Mali in the third play game in the ongoing WAFU competition taking place in Mauritania. The Momos League Grand Final set for tomorrow, Sunday, in the nation's capital, Monrovia. We'll run you through with the latest from there. guess what? The SKD Sports Complex, the front and part of the inside of the SKD Sports Complex was overflooded, and it has turned into a mini car washing center and motorbike washing center for back riders across the city of Painesville. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll clear our desk. We'll talk to our guests. And on the two, the past media manager, Danishas Matter, is already here. We'll talk about the LACC issues and the Liberia Football Association. It's a brand new issue that we need to talk about. You know, the Football Association was summoned just last, let me say, Thursday of this week. The Football Association was summoned by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. We saw the president there denying some reports coming in from the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. I'm taking a break. When I come back, I'll clear up the decks and then we'll talk to our guests. Welcome back to the weekend sports on Freedom 87.9. So let's catch this one up with let's say thanks to journalist Solomon Motari Hammond. This interview was done by him 2 days ago at the SKD Sports Complex. The entire SKD Sports Complex, the front and some part of the interior of the stadium was overflooded. It has now turned into a mini back washing center or car washing center for back riders who are applying the city of Painesville. Let's listen to them quickly.
Should you be watching back here in the first place?
Yeah.
It is a sport for you to watch back.
Yes. I got red.
Which of the red do you have? So does it give you the right to ride a back here at the Summer Canada Sports Complex? A pleasant way to say good morning and welcome to this live here at the Summer Canada Sports Complex today. The Summer Canada Sports Complex has now turned to a sport where motorcyclists are now watching their back. So as you can see, the watching of back is ongoing by motorcyclists here. Let's listen to some of them. He will tell us why they are watching back. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, bro.
How you doing? So tell us the reason why you're watching your back here.
As for me, I'm personally watching my back here today because I feel like this is an opportunity I found to watch my back because the white back now is very costly.
Okay, so how much do you pay at time to watch your back?
If the bike plane will pay close to $300 to watch the back. So this morning, looking at the downpour of rain, without no water yet, so I just decided to stop and at least rinse my back and to inform the government that what happened here will not inferior here. So the government needs to see how to get rid of the water, especially in our national sports place. So if they can't get rid of it, anytime we see water, it's an opportunity for we the motorcycle to make use of it.
So are you saying that when they want to bring fall, you will always come here?
We only came here this morning because we met water here. The water wasn't here, no motorcycle could attend it. So that's simple. We saw this water as an opportunity for us. I need to be able to see my back. Very dirty this morning. But I didn't know it was a good make my the job. Somebody will see
So what does it signal to the Ministry of Youth and Sport headed by Councillor Bangalore?
It's a big signal to the Ministry of Youth and Sport that they need to work on the front page of the national sporting area in Liberia. This is the SKD, the biggest sporting area in Liberia. This is happening. What does this area so it's a signal to the minister that he can work on this so that national during the rain and fall the whole day will not able to get water safety even the complex.
Thank you. What is your name, please?
But I'm Benjamin Party.
Benjamin, thank you for talking to us. So we are here at the Summer Canada Sports.
Last many thanks to journalist Solomon Motari Hammond for doing that interview with some motorcyclists on Thursday of this week at the SKD Sports Complex. The entire front of the SKD, we've been told it was due to poor drainage system. Every time it rains, that whole area get flooded. And the minister passed there. Here, his workmates, Andy Kwame, the less of Murphy Gray and other minister Yonton, all of them passed over there right in our water. And I don't know, it's going to close to 2 years since they were appointed. As a matter of fact, Andy Kwame was there for the last 6 years of the presidency of former President George Weah. Another 2 years now. We are heading to 2 years on Joseph Boakai. He passes that area every time it rains, and then he's being joined by the current minister, Ko Bangalore. They pass in that water. I don't know if it has clicked to their mind that there is a poor drainage system around there to ensure that they rerun a new drainage system or to call the attention of the Ministry of Public Works. But it is quite deplorable, and it looks so bad that you see back rallies using the front of the national stadium, the premier sports centers in the country, to be washing back. And the guy said to us that if the government fails to address that issue, they will continue to wash their back there every time it rains. Even when we have international games at the SKD or when we have concert, the SKD is not just used for football activities. This is the weekend sports on Freedom 87.9. During the course of this week, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission summoned the leadership, most especially, let's say, the Football Association. And I was at the press conference last week, Wednesday, when a journalist asked the president of the Football Association if he was aware about an independent investigation coming in from the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. He said, no, but I will welcome one if the guys will come. So the guys are there now. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission is facing mounting scrutiny. We will run into this one. But the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission invited the president of the Football Association. They started the investigation. I know it's going to take a long time, but there are a few names popping up so far for them to aid the LACC in getting the job done. The Student Unification Party, SUP, on April 4 of this year, petitioned the LACC to ensure that they investigate what is happening in terms of money given the Liberia Football Association. So it says the Vanguard Student Unification Party has officially submitted a list of individuals to LACC as part of an ongoing investigation into alleged corruption within the Liberia Football Association. Among those named are former LFA Vice President for Operation, Wilman Smith, current LFA Vice President for Administration, Professor Sekou Kanin, former Secretary General Ase Montgomery and Doko Koli. Also listed are former media manager Danisha Mater, he's here as my guest, former treasurer Jara Kova, and among others from CISA have all been invited, or not invited, but their names have been submitted to the LACC by the Student Unification Party. This is a group that started the long-term fight calling for LACC to investigate money sent to the government of Liberia and sent to the Liberia Football Association from the government and other partners to ensure that the right to be done at the hands of football in Liberia. Liberian veteran goalkeeper Tommy Sango has pledged to write a book detailing his long football journey and lessons after he retires from his international time with the Liberian national team. In a Facebook post, Sango, who has served as the national team goalkeeper for over a decade, announced his intention to share the highs and lows of his career in a book he hopes will inspire the younger generation of Liberian footballers. This one coming in, footballers who were in Albania, Liberian footballers are back in country. A group of Liberian footballers recently returned home after a troubling stint with FK Apollo in Albania, but have so far refused to speak publicly about their horror, leaving unanswered questions about alleged contract breaches and unpaid wages. Mevida Jinginsie, one of the central figures in the controversies, arrived at the Robertson International Airport on Saturday, 24 May. When approached by sports journalists and other reporters, see a decline to comment. Days after footage went viral showing stranded Liberian footballer in Albania. Among those who were stranded include Ruby Union from current champion FC Fascia, George Wallace of LPRC, others, Augustine Morba of Discovery Football Club, and Jingin CA of Pinsville Football Club. So the players are all in country, but they are not speaking to the press about what actually happened to them. The Jolly Neuro Foundation ended their 3 days of free camp for basketballers in Liberia during the course of the week. The US-based organization, in partnership with FIBA Africa Century and the Liberia Basketball Association, conducted the training for 3 days that ran from Tuesday to Thursday. They provided training up to date, first-hand opportunity for young basketballers, and during the training programs, they provided food 2 times in the morning and in the afternoon for the young basketballers. It was an impressive tournament where the Secretary General of the Basketball Association, Calvin D, praised the organization for looking to Liberia to improve basketball activities. Mr. Diggs was our guest last week. He also disagreed with the Sports Writers Association of Liberia, SWA, that they were invited to their award ceremony. This is the weekend sports. Wilman Smith will join us very shortly. While I take a break, we'll come back. Danisha Smata is here. He's the past immediate media manager of the Football Association. Welcome back to the weekend sports on Freedom 87.9. Danisha is one of my 2 guests this afternoon. He works for the BBC. Danisha used to be here. Well, this time he works at Prime FM. Danisha, well, there is nowhere like home. Good afternoon and welcome. This time he's sitting as a guest. Yeah, we used to say Sabasa. But congratulations on your new role as a talk show host at Prime FM. Since you took that job, my man, I can see you.
No, I've been coming. It's just that thank you for the invite, and it's just that I've been most of my life, all right, have been on radio. So if you go back to 2004, March, it was a decoration day in March 2004 when I had my first radio broadcast as a journalist.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So most some of the young journalists who are members of the Sports Writers Association of Liberia, I can understand when they want to put up a combative, mood.
What do you mean combative mood?
Well, because listen. When you sit with some young journalists and they tell you that, I think sports journalists are divided on who to support or where to pledge their loyalty, whether between the president of the LFA, Mustafa Raji, or the top name, Kase Anthony Kuo, and you provide guidance and you see that there are still journalists, and it's part of life. I'm not really, moved by Thomas Kojo supporting Mustafa or supporting. Okay, maybe I'll use my name because people don't like their names to be used exactly. So I'll use my name. So I'm not really carried away by the fact that Danisha supports Mustafa Raji, or Danisha supports Kaseko. No, I'm not carried away by that. It's a common phenomenon in life, whether in Ghana, whether in Liberia, whether in America. What I am concerned about is what does Danisha do for Mustafa or for Cassell? So if Danisha says, oh, Cassell, gave 10,000 to, say a group, a fan club in Newtown, when actually Cassell only gave $1,000. That's being malicious.
So in the first place, Danisha, should journalists, most especially we as members of SWA, should we be seen supporting a specific candidate, or our work? We should be that a report from both angles.
So journalists are human beings.
Okay.
All right.
Of course.
They are part of the society. If tomorrow, God forbid, if Moreover is on the helter skelter, you and I will not be sitting here on the radio.
Sure.
So it is our work to guard against, right, vices that turn to make the society chaotic.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong with Thomas KOJO saying, okay, I think from the Danisha, because he said
okay. Maybe there's nothing wrong with Thomas KOJO being a friend to maybe Emma Glasgow or maybe somebody.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with Danisha saying, I think from the way the LFA election looks like, from all of the training issues, I think Mustafa Raji is a better candidate, or I think Kaseku is a better candidate, or I think Wilmot Smith is a better candidate.
Before we dive into what I actually invited you and Wilmot Smith for, who do you think will be a better candidate?
The president of the LFA, Mustafa Raji, has declared his intention for a third term.
And then one Cassell Kuo.
And Cassell Anthony Kuo has declared his intention to replace the president of the LFA. From the way things look, from the way things have been proceeding, even as we speak up today, I think Mr. Mustafa Raji should give way. Because I come in. He should give way. And let me also state for the record,
why should he
come in now? Take your time.
Okay,
people out there
go ahead,
want to get the information and digest.
Go ahead.
Let me state for the record that Mr. Mustafa Raji is entitled statutorily or constitutionally to a third term, because people who want to give an opinion have asked, is he entitled? What does the LFA constitution or bylaws or statutes say? So by the statutes, Mr. Raji is entitled to a third term.
I know.
Fine. Now, should he opt for a third term? My answer is an emphatically no, because there have been many scandalous, and I'll repeat, many scandalous affairs that have occurred at the LFA under his watch. 1, 2, there is no precedent of any president in the LFA who've gone more than 3 or 2 terms. I stated the law works for him. I said it. Mr. Edwin Snow, when there was no term limit, didn't go more than 2 terms. Mr. Musa Hassan Belete, when there was no term limit, they didn't go more than 2 terms. So now that there is a term limit of 3 terms, and made all of the scandalous, and I repeat, scandalous affairs, it's just by prudent and honorable that Mr. Raji, quit. And I'll give you an example. Amadou Pianik, who came for the headquarters dedication in April 2022
from Nigeria,
a FIFA council member, they don't know call it executive committee, a FIFA council member was entitled to a third term. That Nigeria did not qualify for the 2022 World Cup became an issue, and the then president of Nigeria said no, and that made all of the tension, heightened tension. Amadou Pianik did not go for a third term.
I would not want to drive there, but somebody will say
it's a ball game. No, it's another topic for another day. So I was just giving.
So somebody will want to question, and I will question you to say that you saying now Raji should not go for third term due to a less scandalous happening at the FA.
Correct.
Somebody will say you as one of those.
You are one.
You are one person.
You are one of the, yeah.
That wore your boot, wore your jacket,
good,
pick up your microphone,
good,
went from station to station,
good,
sat on the famous fabric radio,
good.
Peace to his arches, Trojan Kesulu,
yeah,
my own big brother,
yeah,
Sylvester Wowi. The two of you vigorously campaigning for Mr. Raji to take the presidency. There was time people knew there was an educational status there that you must fit into. People would say you knew very well that it is being alleged that Raji is not a university graduate, but you campaign vigorously for him. You brought him to the Liberian people. So, when did you realize that he's not? When did you realize that?
So his educational, you know, sometimes I like to stay away from speaking about education because there are some of us, you know, who graduated from universities, and I mean, maybe somebody will say, "Oh no, don't go that route." But I'm a fan of what people can. I mean, okay, let me do it like this. Maybe it will settle the school.
Yeah, the doors. Okay.
It will settle the doors. Good. I'm a fan of whether or not you have the papers, and getting the papers, you know, is also good. But I'm a fan of what you can do. So, if Danisha graduated from University of Liberia or UMU or AMEU with a degree in mass comm, and he can barely read a fitting script or write a press release, and Thomas Kojo, who is now a graduate, has just, you know, from different workshops, you know, and is more eloquent, can discern issues more than Danisha. To hell with Danisha and his credentials.
Was that one of the factors that you supported Raji to become president?
Here is the issue.
To the fact
here is the
now
issue.
A university graduate.
Here is the issue. Mr. Raji did not tell us that he was not a college graduate.
He had that from you?
No, he didn't tell us. There is Wilmot Smith. There is Easy. The good thing is maybe so far there is just one person who has passed, who knows the struggle, the entire 9 years. And that person is Henry Ball Flomo, peace to his arches. Besides Henry Flomo, there are many persons who can attest that Mr. Raji, in their truthful nature before God and their consciences and their communions, because so far all of them are Christians. And I'm doing this on the record, on popular radio. Even me as a devout Roman Catholic, and to my communion, my first Holy Communion in April 1995, Mr. Raji did not tell me that he was not a college graduate. He didn't say it. And I didn't know. And I'm saying this before my God and my conscience. Well, anybody can believe it or not, but before my God and my conscience, I'm saying this. To all of us, Henry Flomo, Wilmot Smith, Andy Kwame, Ronnie Wilson, Sekou Kone, the list goes on and on. Mr. Raji did not tell us that he was not a college graduate. He didn't say it. He submitted a fraudulent credential to the Elections Commission on review, and Arthur Johnson, one of Liberia's premier lawyers, is still alive. He has the record before him. Anthony Alor, I don't know whether she's a counselor or not, but Anthony Alor, Safua Megre, was the chairperson of the Elections Commission. She's still alive. All right. On review of the credentials submitted by the aspirants at the time, which qualified them because they were not candidates at the time, it showed up that Mr. Raji have forged his academic credentials. So now we had to revert to, but how did it happen? How did it happen? Even Mr. Raji have agreed that he didn't want to be a part of the process again.
And who brought him back?
But then President George Weah wanted him to be president. So we all had to find ways and means now to say, what is the plan B? Now that he has turned out, call Andy Kwame. Andy didn't, in fact, it was Andy, another person who passed peace to his arches is former representative Adolph Lawrence. Andy Kwame and Adolph Lawrence had a crisis meeting with Mustafa Raji and say, hey, you will run. I think we will find a way. What were they thinking on to find a way? Only God knew at the time, and only them know. And it turned out that in the statutes, there were ambiguities.
Okay.
Because in 2013, while we were preparing for the 2014 LFA elections, Mr. James Salinsa Diba had declared his intention to be a president of the LFA.
Okay.
And there were rumors, and of course, evidently so too, that Mr. Robert Avin Salif was supporting Mr. James Diba. Then President Belete knew that Diba was not a college graduate.
Okay.
So a proposal to amend the statutes under the qualification or one of the criterion for qualifications for a president to change it from high school graduate to college graduate was accepted or was passed.
Okay.
That Congress was held at the Monrovia City Hall. In fact, at that Congress, Mr. Mustafa Raji put in a proposal that the blue field should not be used as a playing ground because of the surface nature of the field. He and Mr. Sekou Kone had an altercation in that Congress.
Okay.
Mr. Kone told Mr. And now people don't know, so they need to know. Mr. Kone told Mr. Raji that you need to go and build your own field if you don't want blue field to be used as a playing ground. And Mr. Raji responded that, well, my mother is not president of the country. People don't know this. They need to know this. I am a living testimony.
You're hearing this?
Oh, okay, fine.
Because of this,
Call Mr. Sekou Kone. Call Mr. Raji. All right.
I will speak with Sekou.
And I can give you names of people who were in that Congress.
Okay.
Call Mr. Musa Hassan Belete. Call Mr. Musa Shana. Call Mr. Michael Gilliana. He's in the States now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, just from the top of my head,
yes,
there are people who were in that Congress and witnessed that altercation between, or that verbal outburst between Mr. Raji and Mr. Sekou Kone.
Okay, let's get to where we want to drive.
Okay.
Let's get to the point.
Okay.
The Football Association acknowledged, and the president was at the LCC.
So let me just use 1 minute to wrap up.
Okay, wrap
so that Congress passed on change of the academic credential, right? Fast forward, but what the editors did not do, and it's the same thing we have with our constitution.
Okay.
We have a constitution where we have agreed that at the presidency, we need an absolute majority, that is 50% plus 1 vote. At the representative level, senatorial level, it's just a simple majority. We have not, even though it has been passed and approved by the Supreme Court, all right, we have not changed that part in the constitution.
Okay.
If you go to the constitution, it's still there that for elections, general election in the country, we need absolute majority. So the framers or the editors did not edit that part. So under the Congress, they have one provision for college graduate, high school graduate. Under the presidency, they had a college graduate.
So many you people took
we took advantage
of the high school graduate.
Yes, we took advantage of the ambiguity. In fact, it was Mr. Adolph Lauren who said, wait. I'm going to read the statute to see what it says.
Okay.
All right, what it says. Yeah. And he came by and said, oh no, there's an ambiguity in the statute that one provision high school, one provision college.
So that used the high school.
Let's opt for, but that still did not give rise to, let's assume that it's the ignorance of the law does not excuse anyone. So Mr. Raji, they didn't know that the statute had ambiguity. The statute said college graduate. You're not a college graduate. They didn't give you the guts to go and forge your credential. So we took, it was at that point now that it dawned on all of us, the Wilmer Smith, the Sekou Kone, the Ronnie Wilson, the Andy Kwame, the Henry Boy Flomo, the Adolph Lawrence, and everybody. Okay. It was at that point, even the Eric Panton, it was at that point that it dawned on all of us that Mr. Raji was not a high school graduate, and so we opted for the college graduate, and so we opted for the high school graduate, and that's how FIFA came in And also in furtherance of the lawsuit filed by Mr. George Solo, that's when FIFA came in and drew a roadmap and say, harmonize the ambiguities in your statute. We pass, let executive committee member pass on it. It goes to Congress. Then you have a new election for the president.
Okay, we will drive and to that.
1 hour.
We're gonna
tell 6 minutes now.
On 1 minute, I want you to respond to this. You knew all of that. That Rajiv forged his credential.
Yeah.
But you accepted a job. You worked with him for the entire first 4 years.
So
you went no.
Okay, I come. No, I know what you. Okay, let me.
You went in at some point. The second term, you worked for so many months. You just resigned few months ago.
Okay.
Why?
So
with all of that,
it's almost a 1 year. It's almost 1 year.
Almost 1 year now. On a 1 minute, just respond to that. Why you accepted the job, knowing full well that this man forged his document?
So we have gone past the issue of maybe it's on me, right? But we have gone past the issue of and maybe the lawyers will say fraud vitiates all. There's a legal maxim that fraud vitiates all, that once it's fraudulent from the start, it means everything about it is fraudulent. So maybe someone like me should not have accepted the job. Yeah, fair enough. Somebody can say, but the man was not credible.
Yeah. Why did he accept the job?
Fair enough. But I believe that we have gone past the issue of the forgery of of the academic credentials and all of that. We have gone past it. The fact that there was an ambiguity in the statute, and he had acknowledged that on review of his credentials, he had forged it, and he didn't want to contest, and he was being said, no, you gotta hold on, all right? And he held on. That does not give room to say continue with everything. Secondly, January 2019, when I was appointed, it was a week on the job. Mr. Musa Hassan Belete, he's still alive, and you can ask him.
Yeah.
He paid a courtesy call on Mr. Raji to thank him for his victory and find out what help he can be. And he met me in the ballroom at the time. The LFA was Benson Street.
In Benson Street.
Yeah. And he asked, there was, I'm lucky that everything that happened with me, or almost everything, the people who witnessed it are still alive. There was Sebastian Collins, the special assistant to Mr. Raji, the administrative manager to the men's senior national team, and the transfer matching system manager. Yeah,
you host three
jobs. Okay. Yeah, 1 man, 3 jobs.
We'll find another time to discuss.
He was there. Wilmot Smith, vice president for operation, was there. Francis Dopo, at the time he was IT.
You mean a representative?
No. I think he's the brother. Coincidentally, they got the same name.
Okay.
Yeah, Francis Dopo. At the time, he was IT manager to the LFA. He was in the ballroom. I was there, and somebody again.
Like just someone that run to the LFA.
Yes,
issue.
Mr. Billetti said, "Excuse me, who is Danisha?" And then Mr. Raji said, "Oh, he's our new
media manager."
Media. At the time, he was communications director. Okay. Say, "Oh, okay, congratulations, Danisha." Now listen, I have been a critic of Mr. Billetti, which you know.
I know.
Now, Mr. Billetti says, and I was pleasantly surprised, dumbfounded. In our Liberian parlance, naturally, this will not come from somebody who has been a vocal critic of you.
Yeah.
Mr. Billetti says, "Oh, Mr. President, thank you for your preferment of Danishas. I believe he is, if not the best, one of the best persons you could have appointed to this job. He would diligently, in fact, he knows the issue. He's eloquent. He's a writer. I mean, all of the pleasant words." And then he said, "But mind you, he will not be the popular relation guy
that everybody know,
that cover ups for everything.
Okay.
He will be somebody who looks in your face and say, hey, this is black, and not trying to turn black into white." Danisha supported me 2010 until 2012 when he felt that things were not going right. He walked to me in my office and said, "Mr. President, I want to go and serve my conscience."
Okay, Danisha.
And that for me, that was the best thing that Mr.
Let's move
Musa
past that,
Hassan Berete ever did for me
Let's
in
move.
all of our public disagreements.
Let's move past that, Danishos. The LFA has been summoned.
Mhm.
The the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission is saying
Mm-hmm.
650,000
Mhm.
in the fiscal year of 2022 up to 2023
Mhm.
was directed
Mhm.
for support to the construction of the LFA headquarters.
Mhm.
1.1 million
Mhm.
were given between 2022 to 2023
Mhm.
for operational funds at the Football Association.
Mhm.
Danishos Mate is the past immediate media manager.
Mhm.
How come you become a person of interest in this case?
Great. So, there are a few things I want to clarify.
Okay.
You know, the Student Unification Party, SUP, there have been these concerns about how are they involved in football. SUP is part of the football pyramid. For those of us who don't know, SUP is one of the subsets of the University of Liberia. The University of Liberia is one of the subsets of varsity and academicals,
Which carry a voting right.
and
know.
varsity and academicals is one of the subsets of those who have voting right at the LFA and in Congress. So that brings SUP into the picture of our football, and that gives SUP a standing.
Okay.
You're right.
Let's just go to the
So
question.
SUP has been advocating for greater transparency and accountability.
How come you become person of interest?
SUP say we want to know about A, B, C, and D. SUP submitted a petition to the LACC
Okay.
on April 4.
Okay.
SUP did a follow-up on May 19. On the same May 19, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, with a signature, with a letter signed by the executive chairperson, Councillor Alexandra Zoe, responded to SUP and said, the board of commissioners have acknowledged receipt of your letter, all right, and have launched an inquiry or an investigation into your claims of, corruption allegation.
Okay.
The LSCC will rely on pieces of evidence you have submitted and persons of interest. Let me send a
So
letter.
that's how come
I'm coming
Tanisha.
now. So let me send a letter to you. So you will. The letter is dated. If you want, I can read it.
I would love to read a letter.
Okay, great.
Just bring it.
Come in. Let me see.
This is the weekend's post on Freedom 87.9. I'm playing host to the former media manager of the Liberia Football Association, Mr. Danishos Mate. The former vice president for Operation Women Smith is yet to arrive, but Danishos Mate is among the list of people that SUP actually wants the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission to invite to help to aid them or to aid them in the ongoing investigation.
Thomas Kojo, I sent a letter to you. Check.
Okay. I don't know. Danishos, my man, let me
you
just
read it?
No, I want to read it.
So
Just
I
bring
can
it.
read the second paragraph. because
Why you want to just go to the second paragraph when there's a first paragraph?
Okay, so yeah, you can read the whole thing. You
Okay,
have
so,
the letter now.
so no,
I should read it for you.
yes, read
Okay,
it.
so it says, let me skip the so May 19,
Don't skip.
Sylvester Wheeler, Chairman, Student Unification Party, University of Liberia, Capitol Hill. Dear Mr. Wheeler, we present compliment and acknowledge receipt of your letter on May 19, 2025, requesting the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission to provide the current status of the petition and subsequent investigation and review on the allegations of corruption against Liberia Football Association headed by Mr. Mustafa Raji. We note that your letter also requested that the LSCC provide information on the steps the commission has taken since receiving the petition, as well as it's a little, it's a light that is giving me heart. Okay, an estimated timeline, if possible, for the conclusion of the process or any preliminary findings that can be public.
Okay.
To this regard, we herewith inform you that said petition submitted by the Student Unification Party was approved by the Board of Commissioners of the LACC for full-scale investigation. The investigation is currently ongoing and may continue up until the end of the second quarter 2025, depending on the availability of persons of interest and pieces of evidence.
Okay. Thank you for reading the letter. So, Danishas,
Yeah.
you was clothed with the responsibility to update the public.
Mhm.
We was relying on the Facebook page of the Liberia Football Association to get update on what was happening there.
Mhm.
You served as media manager for many years.
Correct.
Did you at any point in time, or what do you know about this government support towards the construction of the LFA headquarters that was denied by the Football Association president, Mustafa Raji?
So the narratives that the LFA and its supporters want you.
No, not me. Want the public.
No, you part of the public now.
Okay, go ahead.
Want you and the public to believe is that government did not contribute to the headquaters.
That's why I say you serve as media manager. Go ahead.
Let's do it. I'm also an interviewer.
Okay, go ahead, Anisha.
That's the narrative they want you and the public to run with, right? The LFA headquarters, right, has got a lot of controversies around it, and the government's contribution, if there is any, if there is or if there is not, is just 1/10, 1/10. So it's $100 or is it 1,000? It's just $10 or $100 of the whole puzzle that the LFA wants the narrative to be of. I have the contract that was signed between CSAF Liberia and the LFA. I just got hold of it.
Okay.
Now you'll be why now? So it tells you about the secrecy of the project. That contract says that the government, the contractor should not enjoy duty-free privileges. Everything is supposed to bring in is all pay taxes on it. Everything
Danisha, drive me back to that area, please.
So I've just gotten hold of the contract between CSAF and the LFA.
Okay.
So the boom or the narrative the LFA wants us, and I would say us
to know about.
to know about is that government did not contribute a dime. So therefore, it's mute. It's not mute. Even if government did not contribute physically $1, $2, the government contributed money in terms of duty-free privileges.
Is that why they're calculating? Because they said
no, I come in. Let's establish for a face value for the sake of this conversation, or even at the LSE, that government didn't contribute one peanut.
Okay.
What we cannot detest or deny is that government did not give duty-free privileges to materials brought in by the contractors. 1, 2. What we cannot deny is the controversy about the actual cost of the LFA headquarters project. The president, as we speak today's date, has said that the project is valued at approximately 1.5 million. That has been his words from the dedication in April 2022 to the last press conference, May 19, 2025. He has maintained that the headquarters project is approximately 1.5 million. An other report by KF Consult, I hope I got the name correct. Yeah. Put the headquarters project at 1.89 million. Former Secretary Generals Kwali Doko and attorney at law Isaac Montgomery, an auditor, they have agreed that the headquarters project, in fact, Isaac Montgomery was the first person.
I was in that interview.
Right after the dedication, minutes after the dedication, April 2022, Isaac said the president misled the whole nation and the world. The project is 1.89 million. he misled us. That forced the president into several press conferences. That one, we should wait for the end of the retention period. 2, he shifted it when the 90-day retention period ended. We should wait for the end of a lawsuit between CSAF and the LFA at the commercial code. The lawsuit between CSAF and the LFA is not to determine the value of the headquarters. It is, CSAF is saying you have a retention money for us, 150,000 or 200,000. The accumulated interest on the retention is what we want. The LFA said no. That is the cost of the lawsuit. It got no bearing, absolutely no bearing on the cost of the headquarters project. Oh, Thomas, I want to build me a house. Thomas charged me 500,000. Thomas finished building the house. On review of the house, I said, oh, Thomas, okay, the house is valued to at, okay, let's put it like this. Thomas want to build me the house at the cost of 500,000, right? I say, I will keep 150,000 for you. When you finish building the house, I will inspect, and then we will check all around to see whether you're supposed to put 2 commodes somewhere, and you didn't put it there, you put only 1, then I will deduct. That's what retention is about. Speak to any contractor. Retention got no bearing, absolutely no bearing on the value of. So if Thomas about to put 2 commodes in my private barrel in my house, he put 1 commode there. We check the value of the commode. Okay, I deducting $250 from this your 150,000 that I'm holding. You're supposed to put 10 light bulbs in the living room. You put only 8 there. I deducting another $250. So instead of giving you 150,000, I will give you 104. Well, okay, you people can do the math. So I have deducted 500 from the 150,000 as I want to get Thomas. It got no bearing on the house. So the president is shifting. So this investigation is not about how much government gave. It's about, okay, we established government ain't gave no money. Government gave duty free. So what is the cause of the headquarters project? Does the FA, all of those who are sympathizers of the FA, including the president, there is a big picture they want to hide. How come the president did not say, as an integrity in chief, how come he did not tell us that we borrow 300,000 from GT Bank? FIFA gives an interest-free loan. That is, you go to FIFA, oh FIFA, we want build, we want refurbish ATS. We need 300,000. FIFA gave you the 300,000 without any interest. So why will the LFA go to GT Bank to take 300,000 loan with a 19% interest rate?
Tanishus,
yeah,
to a lot. To a lot. It means you must have placed there to a lot.
Okay, good. So
the LSCC is saying that government allotted US $658,550 means
Thomas,
it was placed there.
Thomas,
They didn't say
Thomas,
oh duty free. Yes.
Thomas,
Yeah, Danny.
Thomas,
yeah, Danny.
I'm saying to you that is the narratives that the LFA wants to use to perforate this whole argument. There's 2 things.
But that's why the LSCC is saying
now.
This quotation is from the LSCC.
So we want to arrive at the whole truth. We will establish whether government gave money. We will establish whether the headquarters project is 1.5 or 1.9. We are coming now. We will establish whether the K Consult audit report is correct. We will establish a lot of things. So after the investigation, I just read a report from the General Auditing Commission on an audit it did at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. Everything that the Deputy Minister is saying, Colonel Crow, on Facebook, for me, is immaterial because it is not contained within the audit report.
We'll do that for
so
political show.
So what we will do, no, I'm just making reference to it. What we will do for this investigation that the LSCC has launched is to establish whether government gave money for the headquarters project. What's the cost of the headquarters project? Whether the LFA took a 300,000 loan from GT Bank. and every other thing. Whether government has been giving money to the LFA for operations, that what the investigation will uncover.
Okay. So the former Minister of Youth and Sports, Zoga Wilson, said they did not give a dime for the construction of the LFA.
The former Minister of Youth and Sports, the Honorable Dexter Zoga Wilson, has got something to hide.
What is it?
So
what is it?
Yeah, just wait a minute. So I can confirm that Mr. Zoga Wilson has left all of the CDC chat rooms.
Why?
Because of
this?
No, because of the backlashes that he has received from his post on Facebook and comments made on the closing arguments.
Okay. What was the comment? I didn't follow. What did he say?
No, you said this is not a political show, so we'll leave the politics out. But I'm saying this, that when you are the Minister of Sports or the former Minister of Youth and Sports, right? And you say the government under your watch did not give money to the headquarter project, but the other report or the investigation is not only centered on how much government gave for the headquarter project. The investigation is centered on two things: operational funding and contributions from the government to the headquarter project. You speak to only one issue, you got something to hide. So this investigation will uncover how, even though in the national budget, the Ministry of Youth and Sports has got an allotment for fuel and lubricants. Every time there's a budget made for the national team games, $10,000 is given back to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So Minister Zoga Wilson, when I appear, hopefully, I will plead with the investigators to make Minister Zoga Wilson a person of interest. The former president of the LFA, Mr. Musa Hassan Belete, a person of interest. Okay. The former vice president, Mr. Musa Shano, a person of interest. And the current batch of leaders at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, persons of interest.
Why are you going for that?
To account for, because the investigation is seeking to uncover at least 3 or more things. 1, the government gave money for the headquarter project. 2, the government gave money for the operational account or for the operations of the national teams to the LFA. Okay. So if government gave monies, how come the LFA has been giving back $10,000 to the Ministry of Youth and Sports? So Mr. Zoga Wilson must account. You were at the press conference. The president of the LFA said those who sign for waffle money,
even 20 USD,
that was a reference to me.
How come what that's a reference to you?
So
did you take 20 USD?
Yes, I signed for $20
Why you that money?
To rent an iPad. And the Football Association, as we speak now, has got no media equipment to do a live broadcast.
Did you rent the iPad?
Oh yes, the iPad was rented.
How come is it?
So when I go to the investigation, I hope when he went there on was that Thursday?
Yes.
He spoke to the waffle money where his pal Zoga Wilson signed for money. Some was that 10 or 16,000 to buy mattresses when we held the waffle 2018 tournament in Monrovia. Zoga was the Minister of Sports. All right. I hope he mentioned also about the COVID-19 rice, some 500 bags, is that 500 or 300 bags, all right? I'll check the details.
Come again. He said Zoga signed for money to buy mattresses.
Yes, the 2018.
When the mattress is not bought.
So that's why I'm saying when I go there, hopefully, when I appear at the LCC, because, it's one thing for Soup to submit persons of interest.
And then when the LCC, they'll call you.
Exactly. So if I'm hopefully invited, I got nothing to hide. I will explain how I signed for the $20, how I signed for beach soccer money, because that has been the boom of contention by the president. Yeah. The beach soccer money I signed for, the $20 I signed for, and all other monies, that I signed for. I think I got some of it. I got some records with me, some at the LFA. I hope the president took everything there. I hope he went back to the WAFU 2018 competition where his friend Zoga signed for some 16,000 to buy mattresses, all right, the COVID-19 rice, and every other thing. I hope he made it so when I appear, hopefully, I will make Zoga Wilson a person of interest. How come in the national budget there is fuel and lubricants for the Ministry of Youth and Sports, but every time the national team plays, the LFA gives back $10,000 to the Ministry of Youth and Sports? What is that money for? Zoga has
for maintenance.
Okay. So when Zoga appears, all right, when the current team appears, they will give account of the 10,000. So there's nothing to hide there. Zoga, you know, he should not be jittery. He should be telling us in dollars and cents how much did the WIA government give to the Football Association for operational costs, and not to just speak to, oh, the LFA or the government didn't give a dime to the. It's not sufficient.
I think I can speak to Minister Andy Kwame about this, because the last time when I spoke with Jarko Bangalore about receiving 10,000 USD, where the president of the Football Association said 10,000 USD is normally given for maintenance, Jara said he doesn't know about it.
Okay.
So Andy been around. Let me see if I can get Andy on the line. This is the weekend's post on Freedom 87.9. I hope I can get Minister Andy. This is abrupt. I'm just calling the minister. I hope I can get the minister. Maybe in somewhere he can follow. That gets some clarity on the US 10,000. The minister isn't picking up. But this is the weekend's post, Danishus. So we're running out of time. Let's go to the line into our of the callers. People of interest, Danisha said, Danisha is calling names. Call us on 0776 104 104, 0776 104 104, 086 500 104. That interact with you quickly. We all have time. Former media manager Danisha's matter is here. He's revealing things to us that we don't know about. We hope the LCC, like he said, he wants to go
when
there.
I want to appear.
You also go in the closing argument?
Yeah, I'll be on the closing argument. I'm a panelist for the closing argument in the coming days.
Okay, let me get this person over here. Good afternoon. Your name and where have you joined us from? This is the weekend's post.
Yeah, good afternoon, Thomas Kojo. Good afternoon to Danny Jeff, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chef. Welcome. So you have seen the man for the Danisha's matter.
Yeah, the man.
Oh, okay, go ahead all of time, brother.
Yes, thank you very much. But certain things that you will ask you, I must say, at the same time,
yeah, ask me, I will answer anything. Ask me.
Yeah, at the time you were with Mustafa Zaki.
Yeah.
According to you, she knew that Mustafa Zaki was on her eyes. All that time, are you telling us? So all the things that were moving to young man, I say, you know, let's go president. You not get any information that the federal has graduate.
Okay, you respond to that. I'm sure I'll respond to that. Call us on 0776 104 104. We are all the time. Totally, my management get angry with me. 0776
Yeah.
I think
man is frown up.
0776
the head of the station is an ardent sport lover, so he will give us
all kinds of friends of Pasadena and of football. Like, bro. Hello. Okay, this person from right here. Let's get this person. Hello.
Morning, Thomas Kojo.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon time. Not morning.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon to Danishas Mater. My name is Winston Diggins, and I call you from my residence in Tinko.
Welcome.
Firstly, I want to say thank you, Danishas, for the fact that you are ready and you are in full swing to appear before the ACC to get testimonies of issues that happen at the LFA. It means a lot. Transparency is key. Accountability is key in everything. So it's playing a part. So say they submitted a list of people who about corruption. People that know about financial malpractices at the LFA, and then listed to get testimony. I must appreciate you. Thank you for most.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let's squeeze in one more person. We'll get back to that nation all of time. Call us on 0776 104 104, 0776 104 104. This is the weekend's post. Let me inform you this evening, Inter Milan will go against Paris Saint-Germain in the UEFA Champions League final. Who will take the day? We'll find out at 7 p.m. Call us on 0776 104 104, 0776-104. I see John. I think I'm not Edwin trying to call. Hello. Oh, this person slipped up. Call us on 0776-1. Danisha, what of time, man?
Yeah, so there is a manifest necessity as to why we need to unravel, unpack, and unbundle the mysteries around this headquarter project. The whether or not government give money is just a tip of it. Okay. This headquarter project, right? It caused or it contributed to the loss of job for then Vice President Wilmot Smith at the time he was head of Legis.
Okay.
Those who had issues, those on the political divide, who had issues with him, maliciously took this LFA headquarter project and said that it was Wilmot's mansion or one of Wilmot's mansions.
I also debunked that.
Very good. That he had built from proceeds from the census money. I wrote a press statement dated November 22, 2022, sent to the then acting president, Professor Sekou Kone, that was forwarded to the president of the LFA, Mr. Mustafa Raji. And they had said that Wilmot was being chased by his political enemies. So this press release never came out from the LFA. It's titled "LFA Clears the Air on its headquarter project, trending on social media." Okay. So when I see that the vice president is unhappy with me, I can understand. But yes, he's unhappy with me.
How?
Because I did a publication of persons of interest who the Student Unification Party submitted, and the vice president is unhappy, and I can understand. But there were times and there were places that I was also unhappy with him, but I man up. I own up to the situation. I man up. I own up to the situation. My name was on the list to go to Saudi Arabia. The president of the LFA, Mustafa Raji, in consultation with the vice president, Mr. Sekou Kone, removed my name. Okay. There was a it's important to say this.
Just do that quickly.
There was a four-way call. Andy Kwame, Percy Yeke, Wilmot Smith, and Mustafa Raji were on a four-way call as to how come my name was on the list to go to Saudi Arabia. From his office to the president's office, my name was removed. I didn't have an issue with the current vice president. I saw him as a father. I saw it as a normal office disagreement and stuff. Even though Mr. Sebastian Collins had attributed the removal of my name to Mr. Sekou Kone, I told Sebastian, no, you want to shield and cover Mustafa.
Let's go home.
The current vice president called me to a meeting to resign when I wrote that the admission of DC shooters, Shatar Angels, and other clubs at an extraordinary Congress was a gross violation of the statute. I knew he was acting on instruction from Mr. Mustafa Raji. I didn't have a problem with him. That he will have a problem with me, I will do anything that is correct within my conscience and within the ambit of the law. So help me God. Whoever is unhappy, I leave you with your conscience. I thought to make this public, right? That of all things that he did, whether on his own volition or acting on instruction from Mr. Mustafa Raji, I still saw him as a father figure, and we still interacted. I still see him as a father figure. That he has a problem with this LSCC investigating with the LFA, and that my involvement with it, so be it. I leave him with his God and his conscience. I make no apologies for doing the right thing. Even if it annoys my father in the grave, so be it.
Let's go home, Danishas. Danishas Matter being my guest. I sincerely apologize to management for the time. Until then, I'm Thomas Bura. Bye-bye, all of you.